Hello, everyone. My Bible has 1,396 pages. Yet the truth about Satan is perfectly described in just one verse. John chapter 8, verse 44. Jesus is the speaker, and not one characteristic of Satan is missed in his words. The verse says, Satan, quote, was a murderer from the beginning, not holding to the truth, for there is no truth in him. When he lies, he speaks in his native language, for he is a liar and the father of lies. End quote. Think about that. Why would a liar do what he does? The answer? To get people to question or disbelieve the truth. What does a murderer do? He kills. People die at the hands of a murderer who has often lied to get his unsuspecting party to a place where his or her death awaits. In reality, isn't that what Satan has done and has attempted to do to Christians for generations? Kill faith in them for eternity. Let's take a look at Satan's history. Ezekiel chapter 28, verses 14 to 18 says, quote, You, Satan, were adorned with every precious stone, ruby, topaz, emerald, chrysolite, onyx and jasper, sapphire, turquoise, and beryl. Your settings and mountings were made of gold. On the day you were created, they were prepared. End quote. Notice, Satan was created by God and was good, like everything God creates. Continuing, God says about Satan, quote, You were anointed as a guardian cherub. You were blameless in your ways from the day you were created until wickedness was found in you. Then you were filled with violence and you sinned. Your heart became proud on account of your beauty, and you corrupted your wisdom because of your splendor. End quote. In other words, pride emerged in Satan. Revelation chapter 12, verses 7 to 10 explains the point at which the change in Satan took place. Quote, Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon and his angels fought back. But he, the dragon, was not strong enough, and they lost their place in heaven. The great dragon was hurled down, that ancient serpent called the devil or Satan, who leads the whole world astray, end quote. Jesus said in Luke chapter 10, verse 18, quote, I saw Satan fall like lightning from heaven. Satan then was sent to earth. But what happened to his angels? Jude, verse 6 tells us, quote, The angels who did not keep their positions of authority, God has kept in darkness, bound with everlasting chains for judgment on the great day, end quote. Satan's plunge to earth began his personal plan against God. Isaiah chapter 14, verses 12 to 17 says, quote, How you have fallen from heaven. You have been cast down to earth. You said in your heart, I will ascend to heaven. I will raise my throne above the stars of God. I will make myself like the Most High. End quote. Notice how many times Satan uses the words, I will. I will ascend to heaven. I will raise my throne. I will make myself like the Most High. Pride, determination, and ego control him. He is definitely not someone to be ignored, but reckoned with. He has a plan, and he's busy executing it. In John chapter 10, verse 10, Jesus said, quote, "The thief," meaning Satan, "comes only to steal and kill and destroy." Satan is busy every day trying to steal Christians from God and destroy them eternally. How did that show itself in the past? First, he tempted Eve in the garden and won her over. In Zechariah chapter 3, Satan opposed the work of God. He stood right next to God to accuse Joshua, but God rebuked Satan. He opposes the gospel. In Matthew chapter 13, verse 19, Jesus tells his disciples, quote, "The evil one comes and snatches away what was sown in the heart of a new believer." In chapter 1 of Job, Satan is told he can do anything to Job except kill him. Proof that Satan can kill. Read Job and remember all the terrible things he endured at Satan's hand. We were also told the truth about Satan in 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 8. Quote, "Your enemy, the devil, prowls around like a roaring lion, looking for someone to devour." What, though, is Satan doing at the moment? He is leading mankind to earth's end, as predicted in both the Old and New Testaments, but especially in Revelation. Look around you. God's truth and his word are being thwarted everywhere, in politics, education, media, and even churches. God said he created us. To date, over 62 million of those God created have been aborted, and abortion has been protected. God says homosexuality is an abomination to him, and homosexuals will not see heaven. Yet, homosexuality is accepted and increasing today, and in many churches is approved. God said in Genesis chapter 1, verse 27, "Male and female I created them." Yet transgender is now accepted and even promoted in many public schools. God said in Revelation chapter 13, verse 17, "Man will not be able to buy or sell unless he or she has the mark of Satan." And our president has decided to take step one toward that cashless society God predicted would come. In Oklahoma, a pastor has been threatened with 5 years in jail if he continues to discuss same-sex marriage. Christians have been singled out by both the IRS and the FBI. There are many more examples, but time doesn't permit me to go into those. 1 John chapter 5, verse 19 says, quote, "The whole world is under the control of the evil one." Satan is clearly the father of lies, and he is turning God's wrong into his right more and more every day, just as the Bible said he would. Knowing all Satan has done and is doing, and knowing he's the prince of this earth, going around like a roaring lion for the purpose of devouring Christians, what must we do? First, we have to know our opponent. And then 1 Peter 5:9 says we have to, quote, "resist him and stand firm in the faith." Satan can't work in those devoted to God. Proverbs chapter 2, verse 8 says, quote, "God guards the course of the just and protects the way of his faithful ones." Question then, are you faithful and devoted to God? Many people who call themselves Christians believe they are, but in reality, they are far from God. Satan has lied to them, and they now fully support anti-God things like homosexuality, transgender, abortion, and more. A true Christian cannot have 1 foot in the church and 1 foot in the world. Jesus said in Matthew 12, verse 30, and Luke 11, verse 23, quote, "Whoever is not with me is against me." It is all or nothing with God. Never forget that. Thanks for listening. America is not what it once was. Satan is in control all around us, and he's winning. But God neither slumbers nor sleeps, and he protects those who are faithful and devoted. That's my prayer for all my listeners. Stand guard against the evil one who comes to seek and destroy. See you Thursday.